Welcome to the WDW Fan Zone show. I'm Stuart, joined by Kurt, Darlene, and John. And tonight, we're going to get through our tryptophan, whatever you want to call it, and wake up and get this show on the road. There's no Jess tonight. There's no Lottie, so there's no news. However, I do want to mention that there is a new DVC resort coming if you haven't heard. And it's going to be where River Country used to be. And I think it's going to be called Lakeside something or other. So, bless you, Darlene.
Thank you.
So hopefully that resort will be open by 2027 for everyone's enjoyment and pleasure. And I can't wait to see what the prices or the rates per night will be there, or how many points it'll be. Anyway, so tonight we're going to look at, because we're in holiday season now, as Thanksgiving is now in the rearview mirror, and we're moving ahead towards Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever else there is that we celebrate in December. Well, I forgot what I was going to say. It's going to be one of those nights.
Diwali?
Oh, I'm sorry?
Diwali? What time of year is Diwali?
No idea. I never heard of that.
Oh, okay.
Is it something like the Masons?
No. It's
Festivus. We can't forget Festivus.
The rest of us, yes, no.
Anyway, we're going to talk about things to do on Disney World property, but outside the parks. So give us a few minutes and we'll be done with the show.
Well,
it's going to be a short show tonight anyway, because we're all exhausted from the holiday weekend. But anyway, I think the one thing that we all know is what's at Disney Springs. And Darlene, you've done it a couple of times.
Yes.
Yeah, so why don't you tell us about it?
Well, I love Disney Springs during the holidays because they have multiple trees decorated throughout Disney World now. When they first started this a few years ago, it was in one section. You would just go tree to tree to tree. But now they've spread the trees out throughout all of the east side and the west side of Disney. And with that, they have a lot of performers. They have music on the stages that are set out throughout Disney Springs. And they also partake in holiday menus at like Jock Lindsay's Hangar Bar. They've changed that. They have specialty coffees and desserts at the different places, like the ganachery and the patisserie. So, I mean, there's so much to do and everything is decorated. It's a lot of fun to just go shop. It's fun to just go sit and enjoy the music, grab a hot chocolate or something. It's a perfect place to go and celebrate the holidays if you don't want to go into the parks for a day.
Or you can't, because I know I'll be blocked out from December 19th through the first few days of January, which I'm fine with because I don't want to be there when it's that crowded anyway.
I'll be there.
Yeah, have fun.
With
enjoy the crowds. For some people that go to Disney during the holidays, they can't go any other time. For others, it's to do things outside the parks, like take a monorail ride and go through the resorts, like the Grand Floridian, to see the gingerbread house, which is always amazing. And there are other resorts that have Christmas decoration. Actually, they all do. And it's always fun to see. John, have you ever been here during the holidays?
Oh, many times.
Hey, what's the one thing you always, or the few things you enjoy doing outside the parks?
Well, you're certainly talking about some of them. One of the things that is more recent for me to be doing, because I didn't even realize it was there, and I think we've talked about it on the show here before, but it's visiting Fort Wilderness campgrounds at night.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So whether you take a boat over from the Magic Kingdom, or you went to visit Fort Wilderness Lodge and you take a boat from there, go over to the settlement area, and just start walking around the campsites, just walking down the street, and you can't miss it. You're going to see lights from the campsites no matter where you are. There are so many people that are there for the whole month, they're there for the whole season, and everybody decorates. They've got plastic. Some campgrounds have hundreds of plastic light up Christmas statues, or whatever you want to call them. The lights that are strung, music playing, and people drive around on the golf carts that are staying there to do the same thing. But you can do it just by walking around.
Yeah.
There's so much to see there.
Yeah. And Darlene, yes, go ahead.
I just want to piggyback on that. I've heard from a lot of people that have stayed in Fort Wilderness at that time, and a lot of those RV guests and campers, that they're return guests every single year.
Yeah. Mhm.
So they build up on their stuff, you know. I mean, I know the one family that we've seen for Halloween, they change their whole Halloween scene every single year. So it's not the same, which is really cool.
That's remarkable. That
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, it is a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, but I mean, I'm glad they do it.
Mhm.
Yeah, I wonder if some of the guests there have lockers down in Florida, and they store their Christmas
maybe.
decorations in a locker.
Probably.
I
Yeah, that
would
would make
think
more
so,
sense.
yes.
Yeah, that would
I
make
mean, if
sense.
you have an RV that you take down, you might have room to take it along with you, but not everybody
Correct.
that stays at a Fort Wilderness has a big
Mhm.
RV.
Correct. Yeah.
And I think, that a lot of those people have forged friendships and relationships over the years because they come every year.
Oh,
Yes.
it's just like being at home. You can add to your display every
Yeah.
year.
Yep.
It's where I live. It's interesting to see what's going on here. The first few years that we were here, they were just building the homes. There weren't as many people living here at the time. We were in the first phase. There's 4 phases here. The last phase was completed earlier this year, and for the most part, more than 2/3 have been done for over a year. But every year, you see a little more Christmas decorations, a little more, a little more. This year, it's almost everywhere. It's just it's incredible to see, and it's that's what you get when you go to the Wilderness Lodge or Fort Wilderness, I should say, to the campgrounds. You get to see bits and pieces, and as these families come back each year, I'm sure their decorations, and they try to outdo each other, and I'm sure it just keeps growing and growing. At what point I was trying to make, I don't know. Kurt, have you ever been down here for the holidays?
I have. It's been about 9 years now, I want to say, since I made the trip. But it sounds like it's a lot of the same decorations are going up every year. Because I'm
And
just
the
looking at
resorts.
them. I know, the
You're
gingerbread
referring to the
tree.
resorts?
I'm sorry?
You're referring to the resorts or on property?
At the resorts.
Yeah,
At the resorts.
yeah, I agree with you.
You've still got you're always going to have the gingerbread house. You're always
Mhm.
going to have the carousel,
Yep.
the train display. They don't change a lot up. I know this year they made it's like 8 feet tall of Spaceship Earth, but I think it's in Epcot, so you have to go to Epcot to be able to see it,
Right.
is what I'm understanding.
Well, if it's in Epcot, yeah.
Well, yeah. I honestly thought it was in a different resort. However, it's not. It's actually in Epcot. So
Yeah, it would have been nice if
one
they
of my
did it in
favorite.
another resort.
Right. Yeah.
I thought that's where it was going to be, but apparently no. So,
Yeah.
I still love walking around all the resorts. The problem is getting to it. The only way, like John was saying, the only way you can get to half these resorts is either by bus hopping or boat hopping, one or the other, or just
Yeah.
walking by foot from Epcot to get in there, because there's been so many people parking in the resort parking lots just to avoid the $28 parking fee that they don't even allow you in there unless you've got a dining reservation.
Yeah, last year we had, I don't remember where we ate, but we did have a dining reservation, so we got to see all the resorts on the board in the boardwalk area, and it was wonderful to see the carousel and everything
Mhm.
else. I have yet to do the monorail line. I have seen the Grand Floridian, the Gingerbread House, but I've yet to do the monorail line. I was supposed to do it a couple of years ago, but I got sick. I couldn't go.
Yeah. That's fun. That's a fun way to do it.
Yeah.
So if you have someone that has an annual pass,
Yep.
park for free inside the ticket and transportation, hop on the
Mhm.
resort monorail,
Yep.
start at Polynesian, work your way to Grand Floridian, over to the Contemporary, check that all out, exit the Contemporary, take the boat over to Wilderness Lodge.
Mhm.
They've got decorations there. Work your way back, or hop on a bus somewhere else if you want to. If you're going to take a whole day, you can hop a bus and take a bus over to, or you can come back and go on the monorail, and a monorail over to Epcot, and then walk around to those resorts over by Epcot. But again, then you got to go inside of Epcot, so you probably don't want to do that. You're going to want a bus to Epcot, take the other bus to get over to like wherever boardwalk. So you're going to have to bounce around. It's going to
Yeah,
take
you
a full
will.
day to get this all done.
You could also take the monorail to the Magic Kingdom and take the boat over to Fort Wilderness.
Correct. Or you can go from Wilderness Lodge over to Fort Wilderness, like
Right.
John was saying.
There's a bunch
There
of
is a
ways to do
circle
it.
boat that goes around. Yeah.
There's
So
the,
you can
there's
get
the
to
easy
all of
way
them
and the
in one
hard
day.
way.
Yeah, you can get to all the resorts in one day, because if you do go from Wilderness Lodge, boat over to Fort Wilderness, boat from Fort Wilderness over to the Magic Kingdom, bus it to whatever other resort you want to go to.
Or you can stay on property and do a 2 or 3 day trip out of it and take your time.
Go for it.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that, but you could.
Well, I know my family stayed down at All Star Music. I didn't remember which one they were at, but those resorts were decorated for the holidays too.
Mhm. Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah.
you know, you could spend a day just doing, the value resorts.
Yeah, you could. I don't know if there's anything that's exciting enough. If you see one of the value resorts, I don't know if you need to see the others, but if you're close by, it definitely would pay to go see them. I wouldn't go out of my way
Right.
to do that, but if you're there, why not?
Yeah, if you're riding the oh goodness, sorry.
I
The
told you guys it's going to be a short show. We're all still recovering from the holiday
right.
week.
What is
Still in my
that?
tryptophan. Yeah, it's still in my coma. So.
Same here.
I want to say the Skyliner. You could ride those and go and see like the Riviera, Pop Century,
Mhm.
Caribbean Beach. What else is on those loops?
Art of Animation,
Yeah, Art of Animation.
and certainly the Epcot Resort area.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to suggest doing that at night. So not only can you visit all of those resorts to see how they're decorated,
Mhm.
you can maybe see some of the decorations from above, when it's dark. So some of the trees you're going past Epcot or outside of the Riviera, whatever. So you might be able to see some things while you're up in the Skyliner as well.
Oh yeah. You know what I'd like to do? I eat in there. Let's say I think the last time I ate there was a little over a year ago. Was it Boma? Go to Boma for dinner during the holidays to see all the decorations and wander around the Animal Kingdom Lodge.
Absolutely. Yeah, Animal Kingdom Lodge is beautiful. They have
Mhm.
so many
Mhm.
lights, trees, and it's got a different feel to it.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Now, Darlene, you had mentioned this to me actually. Actually, it was the show's idea was Darlene. So if you like it, you can credit her. If you don't like it, you can blame her.
Her fault.
Uh, but you mentioned the different snacks at the resort
Oh,
during the holidays, and those
so
do change year to year.
yeah, I mean, of course you could buy shingle at the Grand Floridian, and I do know they had shingles this past year at the Boardwalk. So, and the shingles are very good. But they also have
That's not what my
other,
doctor says.
pardon?
It was a joke.
Yeah, so they have those, and then they have specialty cookies that they make, and that. I know I had gotten a specialty sugar cookie that was really good this past year. Of course, they do have the cookie stroll too that you can do. So it's really neat, and they have the specialty beverages and that, especially Joffrey's. The Joffrey's around property have different drinks and stuff.
And if I'm not mistaken, I believe some of the resorts, at least, have holiday themed movies at night.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's something else to get you into the mood for the holidays if you're there.
Yep.
Disney has a great way of transforming the parks, regardless of the weather here in Florida, which is a lot warmer than it is up north.
Yeah.
To make
Except
you
for us,
feel
it's
like,
a little colder.
yeah. But they do put a good feel to it, as if you're on, what was it, Miracle on 34th Street. It's magical 34th Street almost.
Yep.
You know what I always thought Disney could do, and I don't know that they ever will. Everyone talks about a fifth park, and we know that's not going to happen anytime soon because there's so much going on in the four that exist, plus the two water parks, which aren't even both open at the same time anymore. But what I'd like to see them do is set aside some property and recreate the lights. The lights. Oh God, what can I think of the name of the lights?
Osborne Lights.
The Osborne Lights. Yeah.
Family lights.
Recreate that with maybe have a shopping area where people can just come, park, go through it, and have Christmas all year round there in a small section. And the reason I say that is because it's a money-making opportunity for Disney, and you know how they like to make money. And you don't have to, some people can't get here during Christmas. They'll come down in July or June or September. And to have that available to see, to experience, I think would be a big win for Disney. All joking aside.
What are you going to charge for that, Stuart?
I wouldn't charge for it. I'd have shopping there, let people come in.
Oh, they make their money off of the
while you're
shopping.
there.
Okay.
I'm sorry?
So in other words, they're gonna make their money off of people shopping while they're walking.
Oh yeah. Shopping, food.
So they could set it all up.
And it could be a nighttime thing.
They could have set it up at Downtown Disney, something like that. I'm sorry, Disney Springs. And yeah, they easily could have done it there. They've got enough areas where it would have fit perfectly.
Yeah, I wonder if the crowd
their contract ran out though.
Yeah, it did. They could always renew it though.
Not anymore.
Well, yeah.
Or get their own.
Get their own. That's right. They have enough people on staff that are well equipped, and I know somebody who could easily do something for them.
But they're not even doing anything with Cinderella Castle anymore with the icicle lights, which was beautiful.
Yeah.
But if they're not going to put the effort in to do that, I don't see them putting the effort in.
Yeah, and I don't disagree with you. I think it would be something that their guests would love. I think it's something that would be a win-win for everybody. But you're right. Yeah, it's.
Well, one of the things we haven't talked about that the guests can contribute is they can decorate their own resort room. And guests do that, but one of the things that we did in the past was we just got a string of lights and we wrapped it around the corner light, the tall floor lamp. So instead of having a Christmas tree, we had a floor lamp with lights, or along the top of the the drapery. But you could even get just a small Christmas tree from one of the shops in Disney Springs, whether it's fiber optic or whatever, and have your own resort room decorated.
They
Mhm.
used to have a service there. I don't know if it's still there anymore, where you could actually have a Christmas tree delivered to your room and set up for you when you get there.
I remember that. That was years ago.
Yeah, it was years ago. I think they got rid of that whole department, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, you could
It
get,
wasn't cheap.
yeah.
No,
Well,
it wasn't.
but if you're looking for something special for the holiday season, if you're
Mhm.
going to be down there and you want to get that something extra, and that's the reason why you're going that time of year,
Yeah,
then maybe splurge a little bit extra.
yeah, I agree. Anybody else have anything they want to mention that we haven't yet?
Well, I think so you talked about visiting the resorts, and I mentioned about being in the Skyliner at night,
Mm-hmm.
but go visit some of the resorts and even the fronts of the parks without going in at night. So for
Yes.
instance, Disney Hollywood Studios and Animal Kingdom Resort,
Mm-hmm.
huge trees outside the entrance.
Yeah.
And they're not the easiest to get to necessarily, but you can get there. And you go to Epcot Magic Kingdom, you don't have those big trees out front, but you do at the Hollywood Studios, Animal Kingdom. Some of the resorts have big trees out front as well.
The boardwalk has a huge one.
Yep. Contemporary, I think, does.
Hmm.
And so go visit some of the places at night and take your camera with you. So experience things, but get some of those unique shots at night. Our cameras are so much better at taking night shots these days.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's a good idea, John. All right. I think that will, like I said, it was going to be a short show this week. That will do it for us this week. We will be back next week with another adventure of the WDW Fan Zone Show. And so until next time, everybody be safe, be yourself.
Good night, everybody.
Have a magical night. Stay safe. Please pack layers because you never know what the weather may bring.
Short show, short ending, and so I'm just going to share Once Upon a Christmas Time at Christmas. Although you have to go into the park to see that. But anyway, we hope that you are not here to be with us once and that you will be coming back next time as well. Hope you have a great holiday season. See y'all next week.